going to start off with the Conservatives, and I've got Mr. McLean up for 6 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Allow me to thank all the witnesses today. Very compelling information that's been provided to us, and we really appreciate you taking the time to give us your input on these budget consultations. Thanks, everybody, for appearing. There's a lot of questions I have and everything I've heard here today, but I'm going to start with Mr. Breton. He and I have discussed these matters before, but I'll remind him, because the last time we were at the Natural Resources Committee together, Mr. Breton, there are really, simply put, three sources of energy in Canada. There is, three uses of energy in Canada: internal combustion engines, electricity, and industrial uses, which is principally natural gas. When you want to remove the internal combustion engines, you are effectively going to have to double the electricity supply available to Canadians. Now, I've checked this since the last time we spoke, and I hope you have too. The Canadian Electricity Association has indicated they can't get to net zero as defined by the government by 2035. It's going to be a great challenge because it used to be 2050. But now they say that's with their current supply of electricity, current demand and current supply. There are no new sources coming online here that are of any impact for long-term supply. Can you tell us where you think all the new demand, the new supply for electricity will come to meet the demand required to replace Canada's motive fleet?
Thank you for your question. Can you hear me properly? Okay, thank you for your question. Actually, we have been working with CanREA, which is the Canadian Renewable Energy Association, and the answer is clear. Right now, Canada is one of the cleanest grids in the world, with 82% non-emitting production of electricity, 67% renewable electricity. So it is possible to produce more clean electricity for us to have all electric grid that will be clean and sufficient to produce enough electricity for the whole fleet of vehicles in Canada.
Where will that come, Mr. Breton? Where will
it's going to come? It's going to come from different sources. It can come from thermal sources, wind power, solar power, hydroelectricity, and that is something that CanREA has already worked on.
I appreciate that. Thank you, because we are looking for where those sources are in order to meet the demands of Canadians who are going to be energy starved here as we move down this path. As we see in Europe, as we're seeing in California, wind power and solar will not meet the demand required in order to replace the motive fleet in Canada. Where are the hydroelectric dams? Where are the nuclear fusion facilities? Nuclear fusion facilities that are going to be required, planned, and obviously take 10 years or more in order to get, supply to meet demand.
Right now, there's some kind of bizarre feedback. I'm sorry. Is it okay now?
Clerk, how is it? I did hear the feedback myself.
So what I'm saying is that we are in 2022. 2050 carbon neutral is in 28 years. We have 28 years to make sure that we have enough supply of clean energy, and we won't be energy starved. It's not been an issue. It won't be an issue. When we talk to the Canadian Electricity Association, when we talk to CanREA, it very simply shows that we have to.
Well, Mr. Breton, we haven't seen any of that, and we've asked for it several times. So let me move on to the next question.
What I will do, you know what? I'll do something specifically for you. I will send you some data as soon as the meeting is over.
Here's my next question, Mr. Breton. I appreciate that. We'll follow up on that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
You talk about 560,000 jobs in the clean energy sector by 2030.
Yeah.
$600 million right now has been announced to replace auto manufacturing facilities in Ontario with zero-emission vehicles manufacturing facilities. That's for 3,000 jobs. So that's $200,000 of taxpayer money per job. And those jobs might last 5 or 6 years before they revamp the whole facility. $200,000 per job we're subsidizing just to get the jobs here. We also subsidize those vehicles by $5,000 to $12,000 per vehicle at the consumer level. And you're suggesting we subsidize them more. At what point in time will this industry actually become a tax-paying industry in clean energy? Because there's only so much to go around here. And right now, $25 billion a year comes from the petroleum and natural gas industry into government coffers. And that $25 billion is being redistributed to programs like these. And yet, where's the outcome once we get to your end game? It seems like we're going to subsidize these jobs forever.
Well, actually, if you look at the World Monetary Fund, they came out with a study last year that said that we have been subsidizing fossil fuel at a level of $5,900 billion in 2020. So across the world, we've been subsidizing fossil fuel for decades. Back in 2012, President Obama said that we had been subsidizing in the US oil and gas for more than 100 years. So if we are to be subsidizing cleaner vehicles and cleaner energy because we're doing an energy shift and a technology shift, I agree with you that we should not be subsidizing that for decades.
Okay.
Like we have been.
Thank you. That's your time, Mr. I don't know.